Hey, so yesterday I talked a little bit about um, kind of where I'm going with these videos. And, when I first started, I really didn't know where I'm going with it. I still kind of don't. I'm just really kind of um, just winging it, going with whatever I feel called to do at that moment. Um, so there's a part of me that is wanting to let go of the titles. Um, so today, so just to kind of recap, yesterday I was just talking about how um, that I want to just start having conversations with people, and if they want it to be recorded, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. Either way. But really, I just want to start having conversations with people, because I think that there's a part of us that we all want to be heard. Um, Everybody has a story, and everybody wants to be understood. Um, so today was a powerful message at church. You know, Mikey, some of y'all don't know her, some of you might, I don't know, so I really don't even know who watches these videos. So, anyways, I want to give credit where credit's due. Her heart is just so genuine and true, and I see everything that it's like she comes into my story and sits with me and just speaks right to me. Um, so she said some stuff today during the sermon, and it really spoke to me where I was at. And sometimes, I don't know if this ever happens to you all, but I have this kind of, well, because the world likes labels, we'll call it ADHD, but I think sometimes it's just that my mind will get on a thought, and sometimes when somebody says something, it triggers a different thought, and then I go off somewhere for just a little bit, and then I have to bring myself back. um, so that's what meditation really helps with that. So I always encourage people, do some meditation, because it's good to, whenever you're just sitting thinking in your own head, um, it's easy to go off somewhere. Sometimes I think that's a good thing, because sometimes I feel like it's a message just for you. So she was just talking, and she said some things that triggered some thoughts in my heart, and I kind of went off to, you know, she was talking about the woman in the well, and I relate with her so much. Not that I've been married for 5 years, but I ain't judging, because there's things that I've done that I'm not proud of, and but it was because and the guilt and shame can really, get to you. And um, I'm going to save that story for some other time. So that's not really kind of like, but I was thinking about how she had a label, the woman at the well. And, a few sermons ago, we had another, all of our church, we believe that women, you know, they are called to preach as well, So I learned her name, and I thought, wow, like she always had a label, like, and it's all these labels, and I think that we have to label something because it helps us understand. But I think that labeling, it can it can distort people's perception of who they are. So, for example, if I said that I am a nurse and you had a bad experience with nurses, then you may see me as, oh yeah, or um, I'm a, I don't know, um, McDonald's worker, you know, and maybe you had a bad experience at McDonald's. So you're already putting me in a box because of the places that I chose, to work, or the profession that I chose to do, or like lawyers or tax collectors. Like they're set in already set into a category, a label. And I got to thinking while I was sitting in that service about, I think that the reason why I've struggled so much with my title, and that society keeps telling me, and I keep hearing the messages, you got to pick a niche, you got to pick a niche, you got to make sure that you and I've struggled with that a lot, because I'm just like, well, I don't feel like I'm called to help a specific category, a specific label. I feel like I'm just called to meet people where they are, and step into whatever they're going through. And so whatever that label is, if you want to give it a label, then I don't know, call it what you want. But for me, I think I just gotta say that I'm just gonna go. And some people might think it's crazy that we walk into places without a plan, and sometimes, majority of the times, that when I make plans, it don't always go the way I had planned it anyways. And I do believe that we are supposed to plan some things. I mean, if not, then things might be a little chaotic. I have to plan to wake up and do the things that I do to bring me peace, and I plan to take care of myself. I plan to go to work, so there's certain things that we do kind of have to plan. But I think that when it comes to where we find our joy, where we what we decide to do, as far as like, I mean, if you want to call it a profession or your career, your job, it doesn't, in a way that it can limit you to, how am I trying to say this? So it can bring you to a place where you feel limited. So if you are, okay, so as a health coach, I have a scope of practice. If we start talking about something that goes out of my scope of practice, it's time for me to say, hey, like, I'm really not, studied in this area. Which is fine too, because I'm just telling the truth, so that's fine too. But I think too, because of those labels, like, health coaching is not something that's very common. Coaching is actually starting to become more common, because people are starting to realize, like, hey, I'm becoming an entrepreneur, and they might need a business coach. Like, I'm wanting to, if I'm going to make it to work to retirement, then I'm going to have to get healthy to get there. If I want to provide for my family, I got to be able to, not call in sick all the time. So I need to start getting healthy. So there's more awarenesses that are coming about with it. But I think there's a lot of misunderstanding. And therefore, because I am labeled as a health coach, I might be misunderstood, that I am here to tell everybody what to do, and that I just want your money, and that's not true at all. So it's being able to understand. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is that I don't even really want the label. I don't even know what label I want anymore, because I don't want to be put in a category. I'd rather have a conversation with somebody and put all labels aside, like, we're quick to judge people by the way they look, their story, what you already think you know about them, and sometimes is a judgment from the reflection of yourself. So so there's so much stuff. I mean, it goes deep. So being able to let go of that label, and so I don't really know what I'm doing. Um, so I'm not perfect. I don't have it all together. Um, but I do like to talk to people, and I like to have conversations. I like to understand where people have been, and their stories. I used to work at a nursing home, and then I had my own nursing home in my own house, um, and I still work with older people. I clean houses, and just I think that they have so many stories that they want to tell, and they're just waiting for somebody that wants to listen. You know, um, and that's why I encourage people, like especially like your grandparents and parents, and try to make that connection, because um, it's sometimes it's harder for older people to talk about their stories, but sometimes not. Like I'm ready to tell my kids the good, bad, ugly, anything. Like I tell them if they ever want to know something, that I'll tell them the truth. Um, it's hard. The truth hurts. And I think that, I've told them too, like if they want to ask me a question about something, and if I'm not ready to answer it, then I'll let them know, like I, this is hard. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about that yet, or whatever it is. So I think that, I guess if I'm going to have like a message for today, it's that I am letting go of all labels, and if you want a label, I can give you a label if that what helps you, and that's fine, you know. Um, but I just want conversations. So if we have a conversation, and if you want to figure out what I am, I don't know. I want to be a person that sees people where they are, and just helps them however I can. So, but okay, well, I better go. So I hope that you all have a wonderful day and great week. Bye.